We will be learning certain features of MS PowerPoint during the session. And the objectives of this session is first and foremost, we will learn how to customize slide backgrounds, you see, and how to make them better. Okay. Secondly, we will be learning about slide transitions and animation. These are, a few of these are a few things which really help us to make our presentation, from an ordinary presentation to a great presentation. Okay, and of course, we can also insert audio files, audio files within a presentation. So we will also be learning how to insert audio files, as well as we can also insert, our own, we can create our own audio and insert that also. So with that, just wanted to check how many of us have tried our hand at animation in PowerPoint. Okay. Just to let you know, thanks Chandrakant for letting us know, and thanks Jackie also for letting us know, and Vandana ji too. So nevertheless, this is a very important feature, and we will explore this also. With that, moving ahead, just a little bit of information about themes and background. Themes is something, by default in PowerPoint, it is the office theme. Okay. Office theme means that it's white in color. Okay. The slide background is white in color. But the good thing is that it can be customized. Okay. We can customize it. And there are predefined themes also, which are a combination of colors, fonts, and effects. Not to worry about this, we will be exploring it when we go, into the demo phase. And there are a range of inbuilt themes there. Okay. Within what themes does is that it saves us a lot of formatting time. Okay. Because we can preset the theme, choose it, and then that will be applied to each and every slide that is inserted within the file itself. Okay, and we can remove it also because there is customizing. So we can remove sections of that also. Besides that, each of these styles that are there are a lot of styles within the theme that can be further customized. And not to worry, we will explore all this, and from where we can change all that. A little bit of information again on transition and animation. They sound very similar, but not to be confused with each other. Okay. In the sense that animation, okay, animation is something which is applied to any figure. Okay, and that is what that animation does is it manipulates that figure to appear as a moving image. Okay, and at the same time, when we say a figure will can include any text box, any pictures, any charts, smart art graphics, shapes, and movie clips. Any of these, we can animate them. And now coming to transition. Now, another word here. Animation is something which happens on a slide. Okay. It happens on a slide. Like, for example, if when I will just click the mouse, the word animation will come on. Okay. The word transition will come on. That is animation. Okay. Now you see transition has. So it happens on a slide. Okay. Now what is transition? Okay. Transition is a visual effect that occurs in between two slides. Okay, two slides are necessary for transition to take place. For animation, no, we can animate even a single slide. But for transition to take place, we need at least two slides there. Okay. And within a transition, we can control the speed, sound, and look. Everything can be controlled or customized. Now, a little bit about audio files as to why we use audio files. Number one, they enhance the quality of the presentation. If there is any original audio clip, say supposing we are giving a presentation on history, and history, or say on any individual, and there's an audio clip that we want to play from during the presentation, we can do that. And what that would do is that would enhance the quality of the presentation. What it does, any audio sound captures the audience's attention immediately. Okay. Thirdly, it's a better way to engage with the audience, because then each individual comes up with their thoughts. Okay. And there is a quick emotional response too. Okay. And of course, it adds wonders as far as emphasizing what is on the slide itself. And if there is any kind of a visual, for example, if the movie clip is of if we are just showing a clip of or rather there is an image of say the seaside, and if we add the sound of waves, it will add more depth to the visual there. Okay. And now from here, I will stop share screen and go over into opening a PowerPoint slide and then starting from there. Okay. So just give me a moment while I open up, a blank PowerPoint. I just open up the application, and from there we will start opening up a new file. I hope my new screen is visible to all. This, of course, is a PowerPoint, and from here we have both the options. We can open up something in the new, which is on the left side, the darkish area, or from a new blank presentation. Just clicking over to new blank presentation, and this file opens up. Okay. Now, from here, the other way that in which we do that is what we do is we open up something from the new. Okay. Going into file, going into cancel, going into file, and if I come back to new, okay. Now, when I come back to new, I get all these templates here. Okay, I get all these templates here, and always, it is advised, especially when we are making a presentation, to have a look at the templates. Okay, view the templates there, because there are various various options here. Suggested searches. Now there are presentations. We can search for various presentations from here. Okay. And at the same time, at the same time, I say, for example, if I am going to be doing something in the travel, space, okay, or maybe I want to start a business there, and I wish to look for something in the. I wish to conduct a a food business, okay. And I just write in there food, and we can do the search. Okay. And when we do the search, we find various themes here. Okay. And from those themes, we can, literally pick on any of the themes there. Okay. And one of now, for example, if I pick this, if I pick this theme, it comes up here. Okay. And when it comes up here, this is the first one. This is the second slide. This is this pertains to that. This is the third slide, and fourth and fifth. Already a set of 5 slides is here. We can easily customize them. Okay. When we click on any of the words that are there, we can customize them. Okay. And from here, we can start building our presentation. What it does is it has all the background. It saves a lot of formatting time, and all that we need to do is overwrite, what is written there and add slides. Okay. So this is the importance of themes, which are already templates, which are already built in there. Okay. Now another way, of working on templates is if I go back, if I go back into files and simply open new, and from here, if I go into blank presentation, okay, this is a blank presentation, or as we call it, this is the office theme. If you see, it is white in color. Okay. Not necessary that we let it remain white. Okay. First things first, what we all do is when working in a software, we save the file. So I save it. I go into the folder where I want to save it, and from there I just write here demo animation.
Sorry to interrupt you, Raju sir. I cannot see the demo going on live on my screen. I can just see your blank file saying click to add title. The demo is not showing on my screen.
Demo will show. Demo should be showing. Chandrakant, what can you see?
Only a blank slide.
Exactly,
Okay.
blank slide.
Okay. Sorry about that. This is what you are seeing.
Yes.
And from here, I go into file. Okay. And
now it's okay.
Yeah. And from the file, what I do is I save it. I save it, of course, wherever I wish to save it at the location. And from there, I give it a name and say demo animation. Okay. And I hit the save button, and this file is saved. To recap the basics of PowerPoint, we need a text box for anything that we do, any text that we write. Now, in this file, okay, firstly, what I will do is I will insert a couple of other slides also, because we are doing, I will be doing, various activities here. So again, from the home page, going into the insert section, the easier way, I opt for the easier way. I just push in, at least about 5-6 slides. Now, coming back onto the home, okay, and now I want to change the design of this. Okay, this blank, I do not like that. There are a couple of ways. While the slide is open, okay, while the slide is there, I can just hit the format back. I just do the right click. Okay. Just do the right click with my mouse, and from there, I hit into format a background. Okay. The which is there in the in the third section. The small thumbnails that you're seeing, this just keep your cursor there, do a right click, and the third section, just do format a background, and then by the side, another section opens up. First and foremost comes, the solid fill. If I click on that, if I now these radio buttons, we can select any one of them. Okay. And when we do, when we select now, for example, the first is the solid fill. Next, just leave the rest out, come to color. Okay. And from the color, we choose the color. Which color do we want? And when we choose the color gets applied. Okay. This is the basic way by which we change the color of a slide. Okay. The second thing that we can do, I will move over into the second slide. Now, this slide, what I will do is I will apply the gradient fill. Okay. When you see when you check on the gradient fill, there are various, again, there are colors. We can choose any of the color that we want. Let me choose a yellowish color here. It becomes a yellow. Okay. Second, we have these options, as to how do we want this gradient to be. Do we wish it to be anything radial, or do we wish it to be rectangular? You see, each time that we change, it moves over. And even we control the direction. If I move it the other way, moves to the other side. And the degree of the gradients also. Okay. We control all this. So depending on the kind of presentation that we are making, we can, we can change these elements to give the presentation a good look. We can also add twin colors. Okay. Like first was the gradient. After that, gradient stops. Where it says gradient stops, we can select the second color. Okay. Like what I have done now. So even within gradients, we can use colors, multiple colors there. Okay. That was the second way. Number three, what we do is we choose on picture or texture fill. Again, a picture is not visible here. We have to insert the picture. Okay. By default, a texture will come, and even in the texture, we have multiple options. Okay. Any texture that we see, where it's the box is texture, we can choose any of the textures and apply that. Okay. In order to insert a picture, again, we come back to this, and there is the option of picture source. Right. We hit the insert option from here, and we can upload something from our computer or check for online pictures. And I would go in for online pictures. I want to see there are some the online pictures are again set in various themes that are there. Okay. We can click on any of these themes and look for the kind of picture that we want. Okay. Say supposing Jackie is up there early morning, she's having coffee. I would want to insert a coffee cup here. Okay. And as I click on coffee, the various pictures of coffee mugs and beans, they appear. Okay. And if I want, let me see this picture, whichever one I select, and then I hit the insert option. Okay. And there it goes. This is the picture has been inserted here. Okay. And then the other option, sorry, I fixed it over the texture. Then, the other option that we have is a pattern. Okay. Click on pattern and we get a host of colors here. Let me choose something different here. Let's say go on to one of these dots that are there. Okay, these two seem too small. Let me make it a bit darker. Yeah. And within these, there is an advantage because there are two colors here. Visually, one is blue, one is a whitish background. We can change both these colors. Okay. Foreground, where those tiles are. Okay, it says foreground. I click on that, and from here, let me change the color. Okay. I change it to something like this. Okay. And there is a background also. I want to change the background. I go into, say, adjust the opposite. Okay. This is too harsh. So let me choose a lighter color. Okay. Sorry about that. Just still darker color. Okay. And go into this. Yeah. So we can manipulate any of the colors that we want. Okay. Let me choose something different color where you would be able to see the yes. Now you can see the both the colors are visible. So these are some of the ways by which we can change the background. Okay. Now coming over, into the now with this background itself, we have other options. Okay. In the sense that if we see the tabs there, first is home, first is file, second is home, third is insert, fourth is design. Okay. We click on the design element, and let me insert another slide here. Okay. And on this slide, we can choose any of these designs also. Okay. There are a lot of designs here. Okay. If we do a drop down here, we find many of the designs. Let me choose this. Okay. I've chosen this, and even on this slide, okay, even on this slide, I can apply any of the solid fill. If I apply a solid fill and I want a greenish background, something like this, you see, it changes the entire, design. If and you see, once we apply this, it gets applied to the presentation, to the entire presentation. But if we want to hide that, say, this slide, I want to hide this. I just hit the hide background, okay, which is there in the format background section. And you see, it has been hidden. Okay. So these are some of the ways, by which we can change the background. Okay. And there are, apply from, these are all endless, I would say, endless designs there, in the sense that if we if we use combinations, there is a lot that we can do. Okay. Now see, this was a simple thing. After adding the design, it became totally different. This one has a different look altogether. Followed by this is a plain gradient. This is coffee, early morning coffee for our members on the other side of the globe. This again is something plain. This is a checkered kind of a thing. And, that way we can do a lot of things on these from the design element point of view. Besides that, okay, now this particular thing, at the top, even in the design section, if we look at the drop down that is there, any of the designs that we want, we can use. Okay. And at the same time, there are themes. We can check on, themes that are there in our system if we have downloaded any of them. Okay. Now, besides that, by the side of that is the size of the slide. Okay. Size of the slide by standard, especially when we go into presenting. Just a word of advice here. When we go into presenting, there are two kinds of screens that are there. Okay. One is a standard 4 by 3. Okay. It's more it is less, in height. And now, for example, if I make it 4:3, you know, this is what it is. And if I say ensure fit, this will be the final size of the slide. What you're seeing is the final size of the slide. If for any reason we know that we will be presenting on a TV screen, okay, or anywhere that you present, please ask them about the screen, the projection screen, okay. Because if the projection screen is 4:3 on that format, then you make your slide accordingly. If it is 16:9, like for example, if this one, I have made it as 16:9, you see the length, okay, the length of the slide has increased here. Or if we were to present on a television, let me put it this way, on a television, this would be it would be a 16:9 size here. Okay. So this was about working with various themes and a kind of customizing them also. Now, even if we choose any kind of a design, okay, let me insert another slide here, and we will do that. And let me move, now in this slide, okay, within this slide, and this is a new slide that I have inserted. And from, we can choose any of the formats that are there. Okay. All that we need to do is go over at the top, and from there, choose anything that we wish to apply. Okay. Any questions on what I have shared so far before we go over into transitions and animations? You can unmute yourself and ask me if any questions so far.
The ideal size of the presentation size, what should be?
Ideal should be 4:3. Ideal should be 4:3 standard. But if you are presenting, if you yourself are presenting and you're presenting from your laptop, I would suggest 16:9, because in case the other individuals, they are watching it on a bigger screen, then it would be good for them to watch on a 16:9.
Okay, thank you.
Well, okay. Any questions can come in at any time, through the chat box, or you can unmute yourself. Now, within, the slides itself, as we had shared, that within the slides, in order to write any text, the first thing that we need is to insert a text box. Okay. We go into the insert option, and from here, what I would want to do is I insert a text box. And on that text box, I just write here, hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Okay. And I want to make this a little bit more bigger. I want to make it a little, Monteria, M-O-N-T. Okay, let's make it into something. Okay. And increase its font. Okay. Increase its font to say 36. And let me zoom also. Yeah. Now, from this, I have written this text, and this text itself. Okay. First things first, it is in a text box. We cannot write just on a plain. There has to be a text box there. Now, this very text box, one of the things that we can do, now we will be exploring animations. Okay. Now, I have selected this text box, and from the options, from the tabs that are there at the top, we hit the Yes, Jackie, you raised your hand.
Yeah, I have a question. Is there a standard for the size of the text that you should be using on a slide if you're going to be projecting from your laptop?
Jackie, normally, okay, by and large, the size of font for the body text should be 20 and above. Okay.
Okay, that's
I
good.
mean,
Thank you.
and I mean, when we say 20 and above, not to make it humongous, say 20, 24, that range. And when we are looking at the header, we are looking at somewhere, in the 40s. Best is 40s, if not slightly lesser than 40s, but 40, touching 40 is a good size there.
Thank you.
And also depending on the type of font that you're using. If you're using a very thin font, one of the challenges that occurs, especially when using fonts, is if you're using very thin fonts, then the background needs to be adjusted accordingly. Okay, background and font colors need to be adjusted accordingly. So I think there will also be a session on presenting. We will be covering. I mean, one of our colleagues will be covering in detail those things in that session. Okay. So if I'm looking at this font, this particular box, and looking to animate this, okay. From the tabs which are there on the ribbon, the first one is File, second is Home, third is Insert, fourth is Design, which we touched, fifth is Transition, which we will be touching soon. We go into sixth one, Animations. Right? We click on, after selecting the box, we click on Animations. Okay. And when we click on Animations, we get these options here. Okay. The first one, since it is not yet animated, it says none. Okay. This currently is none. After that, the animations start appearing. And if we need to see a full range of these animations, there is a drop down here. We click on that drop down. And when we click on that drop down, we get all these options. Okay. A very good thing here is, they have categorized it into, the situations. For example, entrance. How do you want the text to enter? If I click on enter, okay, if I click on appear, animation has been applied. Because if you see on the thumbnails here, okay, on the thumbnails here, by the side, if you see 2, there is a star down here, which means that animation, the slide is animated. Okay, the text on the slide, or an animation has been applied to this slide. Now, when we apply an animation, all that we need to do is we hit the preview from here. The first thing, start. We hit on preview, and it will show us. It will show us the effect that it has taken. Now, after adding an animation, okay, there are subsequent controls after that. Okay. Controls in the sense that number one, effect options. How we want the, if there are multiple, we choose these. But from the next, is the timings. How do we start? Okay. On click, there are options. On click, second is the duration. For how long do we want the animation to take place? Okay. Let me give it some time, and then we will see it. Okay. And subsequently, if we have 2 or more, then what is the delay there? Okay. I have changed the time. I have added the duration. And of course, start is with the click. So let me preview and you will see it will come after some time. Okay. I will again increase the time a bit. Okay. And now when I see this, I will see the preview. Okay. It will come. It comes after some time. Okay. Subsequently, if I copy this, the same thing, the same box here, and in that box, what I write is okay, I write this, and the first one I have applied the animation. The second one I will change it a little bit. Okay, I will cause it to come after some time. Okay, and from the delay option. Okay, and then again going over into let's start from the beginning. Say this is the opening slide. I go over, and this is the next slide. Nothing comes. I click. I First one comes. Second is not here, and I click again, and after some time the second one comes. Okay, so this is how we work on, and this is just the basic thing. Okay. This particular animation, one of the things when we use animation, again, a tip here, please practice your speech when using animations, because animations need to appear at the point when you're giving, either starting or emphasizing on a point there. Okay. Now, this particular animation, okay, this is simply, one of the ways that is there. If I want to make it into, fly in, okay. First one, I will make it as fly in, and the second one, let me make it into, say, random bars. Okay. First one, I just choose as, fly in. Okay. And then, I just leave it as fly in. Go into the option, go into the first slide, go into slide presenting, first one, click. This is how it appears. Okay. Second one, I did not change. It will still come up in the same way, just there. Okay. So there are various ways by which we can do that. Again, now this was just the entry. If I just copy, if I just write insert a text here, and from the text, okay. Okay. Now this last sentence that I have added, again, going into animations, I want to, now that the first one was more on the entrance. The second one, I'll just make it more into the emphasis. Okay. And I just apply the pulse. Okay. And if we see, I have applied the pulse, and let me increase its, let me, yeah, and delay of 50. Okay. And I go into, I have applied the this thing, go into, sharing screen. Sorry about that. And hit this. Okay. Start on click, no, after previous. This I will make as after previous. And when we are using multiple, animations on one page, when we go on to start, we use it either after this thing, or if there is a considerable delay, then, on click. So I come up here, go into, the first slide, no problem. This is already here. This comes up like this. This comes up here. Okay. So the way that you wish, you can play around with just sorry about that. This one was got bad. Oh, yeah. False. One. Let me reorder. Okay. One was there. On click. Second one was after previous. And third one goes after previous. Yes. Control S. Right. So use them judiciously. And besides that, it is not necessary that they move in a single kind of a direction. If I were to, on this slide, if I insert a picture here, okay, if I insert any kind of an image, let me insert a picture. This device, I should be having something from in my downloads, and yeah. Now I have inserted a picture here, okay, and this picture itself, I wish to animate this, okay. And I wanted to, kind of come in. I want to animate this. So we select this picture, and with this picture, again going into animations, and I want it to come in a specific way. Okay. So what we can do is there are motion paths which we define, okay, as to how the picture will come in, or there are certain other options also when we go into that. Like, if I make it, something like this, in the sense that the way that we apply it, we choose this picture, go into again the drop down, okay, and from the drop down there are options here, more entrance effects. Click on them, and we have options here, a whole lot of options right here, okay. And from here, if I want a simple kind of a checkerboard, I select a checkerboard, okay, and you will see that this picture, it will come in as a checkerboard, okay. Just watch very watch this picture as it fades, as it comes in. If I write box, this is how it will come over. Okay. If I write strips, this is how it will come over. If I write wheels, this is how it is going to come over. Okay. So we can, we can use any of these effects. We can use any of these effects. Okay. Something like this, zoom. So these are all animations. Okay. And once we have done that, once we've applied the animation, now the second thing, the last of the lot, okay, we've applied animations to text, animations to the picture. Now coming over to the second aspect of animation is transitions. Before the animations tab, we have the transitions tab here. Okay. And when we apply the transitions tab, okay, say for example, this slide, we choose this slide, and I go into transition. I select a particular, option, say fade. There are also multiple options here. When we check on these, there are multiple options that are here. Okay. Let me click on shape. Okay. And from here, next to that, we can add sound. Okay. For example, if I were to, let's see a drum roll, and we can add the duration of the sound. Okay. Let me add it 1. Okay. And once we have done, if I make first, let me share sound from my, from the, just a second, let me, go into sharing sound from my system. Okay. Yeah. Now onto this slide, if I hit, you see, did you hear the sound? Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Now this is transition. By the time, the first, if you see 2 slides moved, okay, let me go into full screen and you'll see the effect. Now, this is my first slide. I spoke whatever I want to speak, X, Y, Z, everything. And I'm going over to my next slide. This is how it comes up. Okay. And then I go over into my third slide, and this is how my animation comes over. Okay. So the animation is in the between slides. Okay. The fourth slide. Now for the cups and all, let me apply random bars. And then for the sound, let me see, there is going to be a cash register. Okay. And duration this, and after, no, just not leave it. Just leave the after. Okay. And I just come back. Okay. Go into the presentation mode. First slide, second slide, all this animation, this picture comes up. There goes the cash. Okay, there goes the cash register. Okay, so you can add sound also, but yes, not to add too much sound. Okay, just where it is required, those kind of things. Now, another way, another thing we will be exploring is inserting audio clips. Okay. Third tab here, go into insert, and right at the last, okay, right at the last group that we see, there is an option of audio. Okay. We click on audio, and it gives me an option of audio on PC or record audio. I go into audio on my PC, and I just have one song. I don't have too many songs. I will just insert that. I insert this song, and there it gets. Now this file, okay, this speaker that you see, this is an audio file. Okay. And when we get this audio file, we also get the options at the top. Okay. That do we want it to play always in the background? Okay. Or when do we want it to start? Okay. And plus when we start it, does it stop or does it loop until stopped? we have all these options, and these are check boxes here. Besides that, we can trim the audio. Trim the audio in the sense that if I click on trim audio, it tells me that this particular song is 3 minutes 33 seconds long. I can give it the time there. I can choose the fader, okay, one of these ends, and just make it say into 1 minute, and I hit on OK. So it gets trimmed. And when we are on the presentation, say if I am on the presentation, I come up here, okay, and all that I do is I play it. Okay. And once we play it, the audio that you're listening to, can you hear the audio? Okay. This audio is from here. Okay. And we have the volume here also. If we want to decrease it, we can decrease it. If we want to increase it, we can increase it. Okay. So that is how.
Sir, last 4 minutes, and
Sure.
I have to join in singing class. May I make you host?
Yeah, sure, Supreet.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Okay, so this is how we insert audio clips.
So
Okay.
there is an option of recording your own thing also, na? So
Yeah.
how
Yes. I go back to insert. Okay. And from the insert, again in the audio. Okay. I click on audio, and it says record audio. First option is audio on my PC from where I picked up the file. The second option is record audio. I click on record audio, and a player starts. And when it starts, I need to, this reddish rust color dot. I need to start. Okay. And once I start, it will start recording. Okay. And as many seconds have gone by, it will run till that duration. And we can change, the name of the file. I just say, demo recording. Record. Okay. And I just hit the OK. Now the file is here. Okay. Same thing. The file is here. Okay. And from here, what I can do is I can play it directly. Okay. Once I start, it will start recording. You see. Okay. And I hope my voice is clear. Gone by. Okay. It will run till that duration. And okay. So this is how we record our own audio also, and we can play it at any time, anywhere that we wish to play that. Okay. So any questions on the? Yes, Jackie.
Yeah, does that recording just stay on your computer, your laptop, or does that go to the cloud?
No, it stays on my computer because it is. I am working on my computer. It's not going onto the clouds anywhere. Okay, unless you are working on the cloud. I mean, if you're using a Microsoft account, if you're using PowerPoint from a Microsoft account, I mean, in the clouds, then of course it will be on the clouds. Okay. Otherwise, if it's a software, it will be on your system.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Sir, all this is getting automatically saved as we are working on it, or we
yes, it will get automatically saved. It will get. I mean, I hope you because normally in presentations we don't use very long, clips. They are just, attention span is very less. So we just use short clips. So that way there shouldn't be a, it will record. Chandrakant, you look at him. He has started his animation there. So great. Thank you, Chandrakant. Thanks for sharing.
Hello.
Can you hear the audio?
Thanks, Chandrakant, for sharing that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Welcome, Jay. Welcome.
So what should be the ideal length, the length of a presentation? How many slides should be there in a presentation?
And that depends on the time that is, I mean, if you are presenting, depends on, I mean, if you're presenting at anywhere, you know, there is a time frame that is given to you. Okay. So ideally, your content should finish within at least 5 to 7 minutes before that time, because you got to give question answer time also.
Thank you.
All these will be covered, Neetaji. I think Lindaji will be taking a session on this. You know, so maybe we can collaborate on that. But she will be taking a session on ideal presentations.
Okay.